Hi, I'm Belinda Fenty.
And I'm Pauline Nakiria.
Welcome to Let's React podcast, the podcast that amplifies the voices of artists from underrepresented backgrounds in the UK and beyond.
Yeah, we'll share our experiences, the highs, the lows, and everything in between. From addressing underrepresentation
to celebrating diverse, rich stories.
Join us on this journey as we react to the world around us and inspire change in the industry.
Hello and welcome back to Let's React podcast. And can you believe it is going into autumn? I'm Belinda Fenty and I'm here with my resplendent co-host.
Pauline Nakiria. Resplendent. That's a big word. I don't even know what that is.
What can I say? I surprised myself. Comes out, you know.
Oh, so that's what you've been up to, learning a word every day. How are you, Belinda? How was the
I'm
artist?
very well. Autumn's here. I kind of can't believe it. The year's flown by. It feels like yesterday that we were setting our words for the year.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I saw something great with you. How are you? And then let's celebrate your success.
Well, I am okay. I'm just trying to find that day job. As I said to you, I've been looking for a day job. I'm trying to keep it in the arts, so it's like thinking about career progression as well after I do it. So it's not just some random job. I realize I have to really think about it. So it's something still within the producer role, or like so similar to HR that we talked about, but it was more of like a general manager role or senior producer roles in theatres or arts organizations. So so I've been doing that, doing a few interviews here and there, which have been stressful because I've been having to do presentations and prep and stuff like that I normally don't get to do. So like they want to make sure, we're hiring the right person. It's like, all right, Jesus, 5-minute presentation, what do you mean?
You must do one of their best though, like just being so natural presenting. You'll have like the
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Belinda. It's like 3 days of practicing. But
never took a quick way.
Oh, sorry. But literally it's like I just think about it, and then just do it.
No, I'm curious about your experience of doing something like that versus acting in front of an audience. Like, do you get like nervous? Do you have any tactics, like, picture them naked or whatever, all that stuff? What's your experience?
I mean, I still got nervous and I'd mumble a few times and then I'd be like, yo, what? It's that thing of where you have to be yourself in that situation type thing. So whereas usually it's like when it's a live audience, you don't really, you're playing a character, but it's like, how will this character be received? But now it's like you as a person is on the spotlight, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get you.
So I kind of tried to shake off the nervousness, but it wasn't as easy as I thought it would be, because like I'm like, oh gosh, I'm on the spot, like, oh gosh, will I remember that? Is that right? Oh my gosh, my lines. But actually I took a moment and I just went, nah, they asked to see me. I just had to think of it like an audition and just breathe and then just do me. So but it was nerve-wracking, but it was good nerves. It was like good nerves of like then just listening more, like you really are listening and you're really responding. So it was more natural because I'm used to doing that, but because I'm now not overthinking it, I'm just myself and talking about my experience. It kind of felt like I didn't need to think too hard once I started thinking of it like that. So
that's
that was
so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's how I was getting through the presentations. And it's like the bit about practicing it was more to make sure I was within the 5 minutes, because they were like, oh, can you please try and keep within the 5 minutes? And I'd be like, oh, I might go over just a little bit by like 30 seconds, is that okay? They're like, oh, that's fine. So I just had to think of it like I'm doing like a pitch deck presentation. This is my film I want you to invest in. So that was how I went for it. I was like, so this is how I see my role and this is what I think I should be doing. So I applied the tools that I use as an actor, and also like part of that, like like I said, pitch deck. So I kind of used the skills that I had to do the interview and do the presentation. So I think fingers crossed. like I said to you before, I want to get back into acting.
Well, yeah, but that's
Yeah,
actually what I actually meant.
yeah.
Tell us about your recent accent, like shortlisting, or yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I was minding my own business as you do on social media, and so this
Lol.
you know, the deep dive where you just like, oh, this is nice, and then suddenly, you know, and then I saw a message from this wonderful group of people called Instant Access Accent, and they're on Instagram as well as Facebook, but they basically help actors with accents. So they have a bunch of actors, like, you know how you have an actors on a book in, you know, like an agency, and these actors are from particular areas around the world, so with accents or from different parts of the country. And they, if you want to do a scene and you have a scene in a certain accent, they basically, you can just message them, and I think for a small fee, I don't think it's a lot to be honest, they can get someone to go through the scene with you from that accent or using that accent, and then they send it
Yeah,
back to you, so then you can do your tape and things like that. So it's like they are an agency of accents, if that makes sense. They have a
yeah. It's something like between 30 and 50 pounds, depending on how fast you wanted it.
yeah. I thought it's like a really actually clever idea, because as actors sometimes you're just like, oh man, you're scouring the internet or YouTube to find an accent, and sometimes you don't find the exact one that you need.
Mhm.
So yeah,
And
so
to
I
have the words done in the accent
exactly,
rather than, yeah.
exactly. Yeah, then trying to figure it out. Is that right? Did I say
Mhm.
that right? So they messaged me because I have sent chatted to them a few times, sent them like weird accents I've found and discovered, which I want to talk about one tape. I need to talk.
Oh, I can't
But
wait.
they were like, oh, by the way, I don't know if you saw this post, we're doing like accent wars and things like that. And, yeah, I don't know if you're interested, and you know, I know you've talked about like doing accents and things. I was like, oh, and I was like, you know what, it's a good challenge actually. Yeah, I literally had just a day to because I couldn't find it. I've recorded it before, but I couldn't find it anywhere. I
Mhm.
couldn't find it at all. And then I just was like, oh, you know what, I'm just gonna go to my shed, because it was a day when my kids was homesick. And I was like, okay, cool. So I went to the shed, and as I was doing it, the neighbors decided to come out with their dog for a smike. And then they were, you know, and I was like, oh God. And then they left. Then I was like, okay, this is my moment. Then other neighbors' birds started to chirp, and everything basically was going wrong. And then it started to rain. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm just gonna go back to the house and do it. And so I went out, I came back to the house, and I just went up and I just said to my partner, I was like, hey, can you just for just 10 minutes, just 10 minutes. I just need to do this tape and send it off in the next 2 hours. Can you please help me? Just keep them quiet and busy for just 10 minutes. And he was like, okay, cool. So then I just literally, I've never set up so fast. I've never, you know, literally reset everything. And I was like, no time to think. And I just did a couple of takes. And then I was like, okay, then I have to edit it, put it together. But I managed to do it and send it. I didn't know how I was going to do, because I was like, I haven't done this accent. It was basically Southern African American, like from, you know,
Nice.
yeah. And the monologue that I got to
Yes.
do was from The Mountaintop by Katori Hall. And it's about Martin Luther King's last night in his motel room. And so the character that I did, the monologue that I took from, which I got from a series of monologues for Black and Brown people, women, that book I have that was compiled together, is basically, yeah, it's about this character called Kame, who is a maid, and she comes to the motel, and yeah, and then it just ensues. It's like a whole night, and she's just talking to him. I won't spoil it, because
Okay.
it's going to be actually at the Theatre Royal. I found out as well last week.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
What
so
date? You know?
no, I'm not sure of the dates,
Okay.
but it's I saw some promos, because I think obviously the algorithms were listening to me. And it kind of popped up on my social media. But yeah, it's gonna be at Theatre Royal, the Mountaintop by Katori Hall. Yeah, and I wanna actually go and see it, because I wanted to do it as a monologue anyway and share it on my YouTube, because I've
Yeah.
noticed like all my tapes and stuff I've uploaded to YouTube have been viewed quite a few times, which has been
Amazing.
great.
Yeah.
Yes, it's been awesome. So I'm gonna do it as well. I'm gonna release the tape I did for the monologue challenge, well,
Mhm.
accent challenge, and then upload it as well. But yeah, I'm excited for that. So that's what's been happening. I
Was
launched
it
my website as well.
an emotional scene or what? Like, what can you say?
Yes. Yeah, so it's a very emotional scene because it's like a turning point for the character, opening up about herself to Martin Luther King and who she actually is. Yeah, I don't want to say so much, but like
Yeah, I get you.
it's that moment where she's opening up about who she is and where she's come from and why she's there, you know, that kind of thing. So it's like a
Mm.
pivotal moment in the play.
That moment be for you in your life?
Ooh.
Deep.
Oh, damn. She just switched it. She just
Yeah.
took the pancake and flung it, and then flipped it to reverse it. I don't
Or
know
a
actually.
moment, I guess, where you've had to go, was it you said, like, this is reveal who you are,
Yeah.
what the words you use.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know actually, to be honest, Belinda. It's not something I've really ever thought about in the sense that I think it's more of situations I'm in than me
Mm.
as a person, if that makes sense. Because I've always been so sure of myself as a person, but I think it's the moments of reveal have always been who I am in that situation. Like, how do I handle that situation? Or process that situation. So I think I've never really thought of myself as the person that moment, the big reveal. Who am I? Like, is that what you mean?
Yeah, it makes 100% sense to me
Yeah.
because I feel like, how does one reveal who they are? It is
Mm.
through how they interact with life.
Yeah.
Like, is someone really bold and fierce?
Mm.
Well, you can't see that in a vacuum. You can only see
No.
it when they're confronted with a challenge. So yeah,
Yeah.
that really does make sense to me. So you connect to the character in that moment, in the
So
monologue, like, yeah.
yeah. I mean, I had moments where because I've had this monologue for such a long time,
Mhm.
and it is something that I have played with for like almost 2, 3 years. So every time I do it or just try and not play it per se, I change the scenario like of who I'm talking to. So before it was
Mhm.
that actory thing, I'm like, okay, it's the moment I'm talking to Martin Luther King. Oh my God, if it was Martin Luther King in the room, what would I say to him? How would I say it to him? That kind of thing. But then I started thinking about actually how do I connect that, obviously as an actor, when you think about your process, but how do I connect that to something that can make me present this as actually a real moment, a real character, like someone you get to see or you will relate to. And
Yeah.
so every time I've done it, it's been, do I feel connected to that moment? Like, how do I see that moment? And if someone watched it, would they relate to that? So when I
Mhm.
did it for the accent challenge, I think I was thinking more of as a parent or a bigger sibling to their younger sibling, or to like that model, that person that
Nice.
someone looks up to and thinks they're perfect.
Yeah.
But actually, what if I'm not?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
if I'm not actually perfect? The way you think I see myself is not, the way you see me is not how I actually see myself.
Yes.
Then just starting to reveal who I think I am, or who I believe I am to everyone else, irrespective of what others think of me. That
Mhm.
kind of helped, because then I also thought about social media, how people present themselves on social media versus what they are in reality.
Yeah.
And so yeah, then it started making much more sense. And when I was doing it, and I even kind of forgot about the accent in that moment, because I was just now talking, just being, letting that moment sink in of the character. And that's how, yeah, I did it.
I love it.
But yeah.
You might have to share it on our page, the actual monologue, if you're
I will.
allowed.
I
Yeah.
will. Yeah. I think they're deliberating who's going to be in the top two. To be honest, even if I'm not in the top two, I'm just excited that I even made the top 10.
Oh, 100%.
Because
Yeah.
it was so awesome. Like
It's fantastic.
just to even have that moment of like, do you know when they messaged me, they're like, oh, by the way, we're just gonna announce this, but don't tell anyone yet. And I was like, still got it. Oh my God. It felt
Yay.
good. It felt good. And I was like, yeah, this is why I love acting. This is why I want to get back into it more. And so, yes, it felt really nice, and I felt righteous in that moment. So, yeah. Yes. Righteousness. But yeah.
You're versatile. True artist. You can
Oh,
channel anything at any time.
thanks, Max. Thank you. How about you? How is Belinda, the artist, the person?
Belinda, the artist.
Hmm.
Yeah.
The trailer had been out for
Oh, yeah,
Little Planet
exactly.
Neverland. Yeah.
And I think I had gone up north to get prosthetics done for the
Ooh.
next project,
Mm.
which is really cool. So
Exciting.
you get alginate. So it's like the gloopy material just slopped onto your face.
Right.
So all over your face.
Mm-hmm.
I had my mouth in a retractor like
Oh my
that.
gosh. Yeah.
And then they precious alginate in, so, and cover your mouth too. So then
Right.
all that's left are your nostrils.
Oh gosh, do they have to put
You
straws in
can't
your
talk.
nostrils?
Say again.
Do they have to put straws in your
They
nostrils?
actually don't, but
Oh, okay.
theoretically, all they need to do to kill you is go blum blum. Fill the nostrils. Like it's quite intense. Yeah.
Wow. That must have been
But
exciting.
yeah, the two people were lovely doing
Mm.
it, and one was really calming. She kept
Mm-hmm.
going, like, doing really well,
Yeah,
and like
amazing.
touching my shoulder because obviously you can't speak or anything. Like very calm tones. I
Yeah,
think they're mindful that
yeah, of course.
if you're sensitive,
Or
then you can
claustrophobic
easily
and
have,
things like
yeah,
yeah.
get claustrophobic, you can freak out quite easily
Yeah.
because it is quite a weird experience.
Yeah, and how long did it take? Obviously from the
Luckily, not
start and
too
then
long.
till it set, shall we say.
Yeah, so the molding, the setting on your face
Mm.
is under 10 minutes.
Okay.
I'd say. And then but there's the prep time and the clean down. And then once they've got that, they
Mm-hmm.
fill it up, with kind
Right.
of, I don't know, whatever material product it
Mm-hmm.
is that makes the real head.
Wow.
Yeah. And so that's useful just for the listeners. This,
Mm.
I'm not giving any spoilers, but that's useful, say, when they're filming something and to
Mm-hmm.
say a head needs to be clamped down or
Mm.
squished or like,
Mm.
obviously, you need something very realistic. It's like a real
Yeah.
head. Yeah.
Oh, that's
It's
amazing.
kind of cool.
This is like the physical AI equivalent. They're taking
Yeah,
your face
exactly.
and taking it to use it for,
Yeah,
amazing. Oh,
exactly. Yeah, bang on that.
yeah. Can you tell
Um,
us whether it's for TV, a film, or
it's
like
for a film.
film? Because you can't say much, obviously. There's NDAs
Yeah.
signed and things like that. But that's awesome. We're excited to know.
Thank
Excited.
you.
Do you know when it will all be happening, like the release and things like that? Or when do you
I know
reckon?
filming starts soon. So yeah, I guess the release will probably be end of next year or
The year
early.
after.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the thing with it's so interesting, isn't it? It's so
Mm.
you get excited about something, but you won't see it for a
Two,
year.
3 years sometimes
Yeah.
even. It's
So
true.
I find that really interesting.
Yeah, because that's why sometimes you have actors ending up in like 5 films all at once coming out at the same time.
Good point.
But that's
Yeah.
because the release has been delayed for each of the films. So whatever, when they filmed it, it was they were doing this, then they went on to do the next one, and it was a busy year for them probably, or it wasn't. Like it just depends on when it was filmed. But then suddenly they're busy because if like say because also sometimes studios are clever, so what they do is they wait if the actor is actually really good and
Yeah.
their film comes out and it does well, they're like, yo, why can't we release this now when they're still hot and everyone will be
Capitalize
interested.
on, yeah.
Exactly. So then they just start doing that. But it's also kind of kudos to casting directors as well for seeing the amazing talent of actors before the big break, shall we say, and the break
Yeah,
being that
totally.
the various projects that suddenly are coming out at the same time.
I was
Yeah.
talking with another actor a little bit
Mm,
about this,
mm,
just that it is quite hard to get auditions for lead roles
mm,
unless you're already known.
mm,
And yeah, and even the actors who aren't that well known, when you look, they've
mm-hmm.
actually done quite a bit often.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
rare that they haven't. It tends
Yeah.
to only be that they haven't when they're casting kind of teenagers or,
Mm-hmm.
little kids or,
That's so
but
true.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, but what can we do? We just
Yeah.
keep going and
Yeah. And writing our own stuff as well, making
yeah,
stuff. Yeah, no, it's true.
exactly. I have a feature film that is in the very early stages of my own right that I need to write, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's so nice to have this new exciting idea, like you say
Yeah.
about making and stuff. And I'm just really looking forward to going eating into it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's true. Even the short film I was telling you, I'm still like, I wanted to be filming it now, but then I was looking at the bits that I want to improve
Yeah.
because I've been watching different things that inspire me and all the shots and the scenes. And technically, because I'll kind of be directing it myself, so I've been thinking more about that. Like, what is it about the film that I want people to connect to? I don't just want to make a film because I want it to, the quality of the work to make sense than just be some random film that I'm just
Yeah, I get
doing.
you.
Yes, I've been thinking about the details, like, because the pitch deck was more of like a mood board. That the one I sent you was more like a mood board of what the ideas of how they're flowing in my head. So yes, I've just been like thinking about it, and I'm doing the little tweaks of the script and editing it here and there and adding bits. I feel like it might even end up being longer. And the funny thing is, while I've been doing that, another idea for another film came up in my head, and I also like the idea of it, and I'm just writing down like when the ideas come, but then I'm trying to stay focused on the one that I'm doing, but realizing that I shouldn't rush just because. So I have like 4 projects I'm doing at the moment in my head, like not in my head, but like working on. But the main one I'm trying to get done is the one that I shared with you. So, but yeah, it's just been like realizing how to just be much more productive, allowing myself to actually take the time to develop the idea than rush it, to just focus on the quality of the work than the quantity, if that makes sense. So
have you had the chance to review any more trailers recently?
no, because I had my tooth taken out last week, so my
Oh,
face was a bit wonky. My
yeah.
wisdom tooth, you can kind of see it if you look.
Oh,
This side is a bit like woo.
sure. Did it go
So
okay or?
yeah, they took it out. Apparently I had 3 roots, not 2, so it took a bit. Yeah, my tooth was huge, so it was like, and so it was trying to
Wow.
get it out.
Did you keep it?
No, no,
What?
no.
What about the tooth fairy? How are you going to
Oh
get
yeah,
your
my
money?
daughter did ask. I said that I wouldn't mind the tooth fairies giving it to the people at the hospital where I went had my surgery done,
Oh,
so they can have it. And she was like, "Okay, Mama, that's very kind." So
especially
thanks,
a
child.
juicy tooth, with the 3 roots.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, that should
Um,
bring in quite a bit of cash.
yeah,
Yeah.
but no, yeah, so but I'm hoping that I'll do something maybe tomorrow morning, and because they go out on Mondays and stuff. But then I'm also going to do a few monologues here and there, because I was like, oh, I'll just do a monologue or write something and then just share it on YouTube, like write
That's so
about something.
great.
So
I
yeah.
haven't obviously seen your audition yet. I don't know if they're gonna release them or
Yes, I think they said they will share them because we send links to so I think they're just waiting for a decision to be made and they'll start sharing them and
great.
things like that. So
Because from the still, it
yeah.
looked really good, like as in the quality and the colors.
Oh,
Have you got like
okay.
a special setup or?
No, I just do my basic glass, and then I
Yeah,
put my phone camera. Actually, I just use my phone to film
yeah,
myself. Really,
nice.
that's how I do my tapes. I just have a backdrop, and
Yeah, is it
that's it.
pinkish? What's the backdrop?
It's no, it's like those foldable
Yeah,
thingamajig
what's like the
bobs.
color of it?
It's like a weird beigey
Yeah,
brown gray.
right.
Yeah, that I got off Amazon during
Oh,
lockdown
cool.
ages ago. So I've had it for some time. I thought
Good
about getting other
choice.
colors because they're, but no, I just just like it. Simple, basic
It's
background. So
unusual. It stood out.
oh, thanks, Pipes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, so I'm just excited for that. So that's what I'm trying to start doing, more monologues and just posting and doing them and just sharing them and stuff like I've written.
It's a really good idea. I'm working on a short film with one of my friends
Mm,
who's written it, and it's just so tailored to the 2 of us acting in it.
yeah.
But we really want to just get it made to make it happen.
Yeah.
So, and I'm
Yeah.
ready. We had our project. It's
Mm-hmm.
having its final festival at a BAFTA BIFTA qualifying
Yeah.
festival.
Exciting.
Aesthetica,
Yeah.
short
Yeah.
festival. Amazing
Yeah.
final hurrah.
Anyone wondering, I am light is what we're talking about. Short film.
Yeah.
Hashtag just saying. Beautiful.
So I'm ready for the next juicy project,
Yeah.
to make. But yeah, there's always that thing of, okay, how do I bring this into being,
Mm-hmm.
going beyond the idea into reality, into a thing?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then you just want to get it
Just
done,
do it. Just do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I want to see
So
how
I
as
like
well.
the fact that you're doing monologues because
Yeah.
there's a lot more in your control, so you can
Yeah.
get it done.
Yes. And also because like it's such a short one that you have to do. Because I'm thinking about just doing 1.5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe the longest 3 minutes, but 1.5. So like thinking about like just see how like a character inspires me, and then I just write something and then just do it.
Oh,
And basically the idea is I'll just do a series of monologues and then just put them together. That's
that
also
you write that are
yes.
inspired by things
Yeah.
that you
Yes.
nice. I like that.
Yeah, kind of like a how you doing, artist? How are you doing? Well, today I'm feeling like this character today, and then I'll do that
That's
type thing.
awesome.
So yeah, it's just throwing myself into it
Yeah, you're
is
so
the
good
word
at
to put
making
it.
time.
Yeah, I try. I think like it's not like I have enough time in the world as it is, but I
Yeah.
think when I'm set on something, I've realized that I just put myself into it and just try and do it as best I can.
My
Like,
artist has been enjoying regular American accent
mm. Oh
workouts,
yes, you're doing that.
like a
You're,
group
how's that
class
going? Yeah.
where you just have general chit chat for an
Mm.
hour
Mm.
and then you do scenes for an hour. And it's
Mm.
cool. It's very
Amazing.
relaxed, just a place where I can regularly practice, which is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
I get recommendations. So
Ooh.
I've got recommended this book. I can't tell you how good it is yet, but it's called The Map.
Mm.
Actor's Guide to On-Camera Acting. And apparently it
Oh.
has very concrete, actionable tips
Mm.
that elevate my acting to, I'm holding my top down
Yeah.
now, to Oscar-winning performances.
Amazing. It was parent watch week, so you get to see go and watch a class and see how they're doing and dancing. She does tap. And I was watching her and it was like, she's very shy.
Hmm?
I know. But I don't know if it's because I was there. But then sometimes when she needs to do something like, say, go to pee or go to the toilet,
Yeah,
she doesn't want to disrupt the class because she feels like it's very
yeah.
critical. She can't go. And then she ends up peeing herself because she waited too late. But yeah, like she used to be so confident,
Mm,
so, oh
mm.
my gosh, this is me type of thing.
That's
Like,
why I was surprised, yeah.
and then suddenly I'm just seeing my child just like she goes to the back of the line when they're learning something and then just she waits, which is fine. She waits for the teacher to say, okay, yeah, you can go, Ellie, it's your turn. But I know the teacher thinks she's good because the teacher's like, well done, Ellie. Or yeah, that's it. Like when they do the memory thing, where they do one, each one does a move, and then the other person has to remember that move and add their own move to it. That kind of thing, like how we do in drama, we clap and then
Yeah,
click. And she's fine, and but she's just not confident in
yeah.
herself. So I don't know what happened, but I need to unpack that. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
but other than that, when I give her my phone sometimes to, use the filters on Instagram or and things like that, she'd be like, hey guys, so yeah, so today I'm hanging out, and I just want to say, if you see something you really cool, please give us a like, shout me out, let me know.
Yeah. That's
So,
you just raised an interesting point about the ability to be confident
mm,
in the world, but behind a phone where you
mhm.
can't see or interact with the people directly.
Yes,
Versus if you had to do the same thing on stage, you're
yeah.
still doing it with an audience, but the fact that the audience is fully unseen
Hmm.
in the phone and it's so random doesn't make you shy.
Yeah, that's so true, actually. Because it's like she wants to disappear when there's a stage, when she's on stage, and she's very quiet and just focused and quiet, you know? And yet, when we're just walking from school, you just hear some kids randomly shouting, hey, Ellie, hi. Or, when they're doing so, oh my God, da, 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 like things like
Yeah,
that. And there's something about her that draws people to her. Like they like her, having her around. Then there's something else about, I don't know what it is, but I think I need to investigate and yeah, and find out exactly what goes on. And, because
yeah.
all I see most of the
There was a
time,
change, basically. Is that what you're?
yeah. Yeah, I feel like there's a change because like she talks about how she wants this like this because one of her friends has this. Yet before she used to be the one setting the trend. Now she
Yeah, I
feels like
get
she's
you.
trying to follow a trend, if that makes sense. And
Totally.
I feel pressured, like I'm like, oh my God, you used to be like, oh yeah, they're doing it because of this. I'm doing like this because that's what I want to do. But now you're like, oh, I want my hair to be this color because so and so's got this. Oh, I want this, I'm like, oh, what
Yeah.
happened? Where
No.
yeah, like where did I go wrong? That kind of thing. But I know obviously kids
Oh,
grow up
yeah, and
and
it's
things
definitely,
happen.
yeah, and maybe this is part of the journey.
Yeah.
It's not, we know it's not just her, it's
Mm.
most of us at some point will go from, yeah, it's almost like a great stage of development,
Yes.
like to
Yeah.
go through a stage where you have full ownership of yourself and you're the boss,
Mm-hmm.
then wanting to please or be like other people,
Mm.
but then again refinding for sure your individuality.
Yeah.
And if
Because
it is a development stage, then I mean it's no one's fault or
yeah, it's true. I shouldn't be too hard, but I feel like, maybe there's a part of me that, oh, I think just feels like maybe there's something about just building back her confidence, building it
yeah,
back up again, or making her realize that she's good enough as she is. And anything else she'd like to do is okay, but she shouldn't be wanting to do it because someone else is
yeah,
doing it. She should
yeah,
want to do it because she wants to do it. And I try to think back about how I was when I was her age and when I was little and younger and things like that. And I realized that I've always had that confidence in myself. So that's why when you asked me earlier, like, when was your moment of, but I've always had that. I feel like I've always had that. And because I carried that confidence and knowing I don't really, really care about what other people think of, like, say, how I look, what I do, as long as I'm
Yeah.
happy in myself. I've always
Yeah.
had that. And to the point where I think when I was little at one point, it really annoyed a bunch of kids, older kids, that they just were like, they didn't know what to do. But yeah, so I think I just need to also not, but I don't want to push it as well. I don't want to push because I don't want to feel like I'm then molding it into something, don't let someone walk over you. Don't do that. Don't, be a people pleaser. Don't da 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 da. I want it to be more like a discussion. Like, let's talk about, okay, how, but it's been great though that she's been opening up to me a lot, telling me little funny things. And then it's just like, oh, cool. And then I tell her dad and he's like, what, she told you that? I'm like, yeah. So it's been nice. And I'm like, oh, please, please keep coming back to me.
Yeah.
But I think she'll be great though on the podcast too, because she's always been curious about what we do, what we talk
Yeah.
about, and what it's like. So I think it'll be
Yeah.
interesting.
And if she gets bored after 2 minutes, that's fine.
She probably will.
Yeah.
Or she'll just talk for like 2 minutes or 3 minutes of just complete whatever is in her head, like literally whatever
That'd be
comes to her
so
head.
Oh,
Could you
that's
say
cute.
hello? So she
Yeah,
said
yeah,
hello.
yeah.
Could you say hello? Oh, hello, hi. And then she
Yeah,
smiles.
yeah. That's
And
so funny.
then, yeah,
Kids are like that, aren't they?
yeah,
Yeah, when I go to see my like niece, nephew, as soon as I walk through the door, it's not really necessarily hello. It's normally like, can you do the animals? Because I do
the
like
last time. Yeah, yeah.
whenever you do something that they enjoy, they want it over and over again, ad infinitum, right? Yeah, or it will be like, no hi, just like, oh, we've got a stepping stones and a den, you're gonna come and see our den now. It's like straight into action.
Yeah, yeah. They're like, yeah, we know you're good. I can see you're fine. I'm fine. We're okay. Like, pleasantries
Yeah,
out of the way. Let's go. So this is
yeah.
what I'm doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's funny. And yeah, it's like when you find them in a moment, when they're in the zone of doing something and you find them and you try and tell them,
Yeah,
it's like that's why
yeah.
whenever they not like throwing a tantrum, because my kids actually, to be honest, touch wood, I'm grateful they don't throw tantrums. But when they do occasionally have a moment of like very upset, I don't talk to them. I just let them calm down. Like, I'm that parent, if a kid is throwing a tantrum, I'll be standing there watching them because they won't hear a word you're
Exactly.
saying.
No.
It's like when you're upset and angry, you're not listening to anybody. You're just like in that moment, you're very angry and pissed off. So I'm just like, okay, cool, I'll let you calm down. And then I'll just say, when you calm down, then come and talk to me. Until then, you just have your moment. But they don't do that much. And it's, sometimes when they do see other kids doing it, they just look at the kid like, yo. And then they look at me and I'm like, you do that, I will kill you. I will end you. No, I actually do say that sometimes, but no. No, but they do always find, but Mas always asks what's wrong, why they upset, why they crying, why they sad. Like, he always asks when he sees someone upset, he will ask. And I'll just be like, I think they're not happy about something. And then with the kids, we've seen Inside Out.
I was gonna say this. So it's all sounded like Inside Out when you were like,
Yeah. It's been great using those films to help her process her emotions, because then I'll be like, oh, so who do you think is in charge right now? And she'll be like, sadness. And I'll be like, okay, so that's okay. Like, we know it's okay to feel sad, and you can feel as feel sad for, as long as you want. But what can we do to make you feel better? And then she'll be like, or I sometimes say, how can we get joy to get, take back
yeah,
control? And then she'll
yeah,
be like, maybe we could play Roblox. And there we go. And there it happens. And then that's the end of it. But like,
yeah.
it's been
Nice.
great though, sometimes as well, when she sees her friends throwing, there's one classmate of hers who always cries when they're going to school on parent drop off. And I
Oh,
said, who do you think is in control? And she's like, I think anger is in control. I'm like, oh, okay. Well,
great.
and like, okay, what makes you say that? And she's like, she doesn't look very happy. I think it's sadness and anger, because she keeps shouting. And I'm like,
Yeah,
okay. I feel like it's great that she can connect to her emotions as well, like
yeah.
that, and also
Brilliant,
empathize with other people to make them feel better and
brilliant.
find a way. And I'm not gonna lie, she does also tell me when she gets frustrated, because sometimes when she tries to cheer people up, they don't, one of her friends one time she was like, I tried to make her feel happy, but she was very grumpy for a long time. And then I said to get really grumpy because she was not becoming,
Oh,
and I was like, oh, okay. And then I was like, what did you do? And she's like, I don't know. And I said, well, if it does happen next time, maybe go find other friends to play with who make you happy just for a little moment, and then when you feel better, try again. And she was like, okay, I'll try that. So I was like, try
Amazing, isn't it?
change the scene.
Very advanced.
Yeah, like it's so weird.
Great.
I'd like to take,
He's
the
so
compliment.
aware.
Yeah, I'd like to be the one taking the compliment. That's that's me, all me. But I also have a lot to thank for, Inside Out, because I
Yeah.
learned to learn to process emotions. He enjoys the second one as well. The second one is really good.
Yeah, I thought they were both fantastic.
Yeah, there's such good. It's such a good film. I'd recommend it. That's my recommendation.
Yeah. I saw the behind the scenes of it, and yeah,
was really good as well. The
so
process.
The point is, they say write what you know. So for anyone who doesn't know, for Inside Out, the person who came up with it, he was going through that exact thing with his daughter. Like she'd gone overnight from being like happy and bubbly to being like just loads of sad. So it's like what happened to Joy? Yeah. It's good. So
yeah, it's a good film. I know it's it's animation, but it's like a good way of learning about emotions. It's a good way of processing all those moments and things like that. So it kind of gives you basically an insight into feelings. It's not, obviously they're not going into someone's brain and but it's a good way of putting it into perspective to allow you to open up about things, and also allow especially children, but also adults. And
easy way to I love it.
It's really good.
The power of writing things that are meaningful to you, they become helpful and meaningful to other people,
which is always good. And that's what makes art what it is, that people are able to connect with that and express themselves in a way that allows them to realize who they are and what's happening. During the accent challenge, I came across a clip. I know it's been circulating the internet for quite some time.
Denzel Washington.
Yes! Oh my God! I didn't even need to say it. I didn't just say it.
I was shocked.
And if anyone's wondering, the actual the film is on YouTube for Queen and Country. The accent was hilarious. For YouTube, I will put the clip at the end of the episode, and I might actually let the clip play out so you can hear it at the end of the episode. But it is hilarious. It was funny.
I love that though, in a way, because it just tells you that you can always you could lead a program. You could don't let anything stop you. Don't even let a lack of skill stop you. The world of art is just like
exactly.
And also get an accent coach or voice coach if you're stuck.
I mean, we could say, to be fair, it was the 80s, and if they, their lack of black actors, can't even say that.
Oh my gosh,
that's the only reason I can think of as to why. But even then, that was hilarious. That was funny. That was so funny. So that's what I wanted to talk about. That
I love it.
The best comment I saw was someone saying his American accent was just dying to break free. Well, I think that's a good way to end the show. It's always good to see you. Please keep us updated on your little innings and little bits. Obviously, not breaking your NDAs. And until next time. Until next time, Belinda.
Next time.
Speak soon.
Speak soon. Bye.
Bye. Oh, and enjoy Denzel.
Which has now become an independent country. You no longer have citizenship of United Kingdom colonies.
Well, I can die for United Kingdom and colonies, can't I? You can put me out there as a front gunner to get me bleeding head blown off. I'm British then, yeah?
Yes, but you can still become a British citizen. All you have to do is send a check, £200. Send it to me. I'll hurry along, because I know you want to go on holiday.
You don't understand, do you? The £200 has got nothing to do with it.
I appreciate your predicament.
Appreciate? You don't appreciate nothing. Where were you when the bullets started flying, eh? Hiding behind your desk, shitting yourself like the rest of your kind. Well, I was out there, in the cold, in the dark, in the shit.